Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to animate your very own 3D character using block coding. In our video before this, I showed you guys how to design your own 3D character, how to create your own 3D character. So, we ended our video, the previous video, at this stage where we had designed our own 3D characters. So, now this video is going to be a continuation from that, and we are going to learn code how to code this jumping and flapping animation of arms and legs using the block coding that we have. All right. So let's get started. I'm going to go back to the previous project that we built. So I'm also going to paste a link of this project where the design of this character is ready. And you guys can then go to the code window and follow along the tutorial by just coding the animation of this character if you guys want to do that. Or you guys can watch the previous video where we build this character and build your own character and then code the animation by following this tutorial. Okay, so let's go back to our design tab. And what I had done here was I had manipulated some rotation values. So I'm just going to set it back to zero, zeros, and zeros. So my character's rotation is zero, and my left leg's rotation to be zero as well. My right leg's rotation to be zero, arms to be zero, and this arm to be zero as well. Okay, so I have this 3D character. This grid, I'm just turning it on and off using the G button on my keyboard. Okay, so I have this 3D character now. This is my 3D character, and we are going to make this character move around. Okay, so let's go to our code window. And now in our code space, you see there is no code here. We are going to write the code to make this character jump and flap its arms. All right. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to our characters object here and see, to make the object jump, to make our character jump, what do we need to do? We need to modify its Y position, right? So all we can do is we can just bring out this change character X by 1, this block, and attach it to an event block. So go to your events category and let's drag out this when green play button clicked and attach it here. Now change this X to Y, and now when you click on the green play button, see, this block says when green play button is clicked, change the character's Y position by 1. So my character moves up. And if I say -1, that will mean my character will move in the negative Y direction. So that's down. All right. So we have done this in one of our previous tutorial videos, the basics of 3D space. I'm going to link that video in the description as well. So you guys can watch that and understand how the XYZ position matters for a 3D object. Okay. So in that video, what we did was we made a box jump up and down. And that's the same code that we are going to write for this character here now to make the character jump up and down. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we are going to create a speed variable. We are going to create a variable called speed. So I clicked on this variables option and click on this create a variable button and then just give your variable a name. So I'm going to make this character jump using this variable. So I'm just going to give it a name called jump speed. All right. And then you can drag this out and give it a number value here. So to bring out a number block, you can click on maths and drag this number block here and attach it here. Or you can also press Shift and M on your keyboard and that will generate a number block. But we don't need that right now. I already attached a number block. So now set variable jump speed. Let's give it a value. Let's give it a value of 0.01 for now. And what we can do is we can drag this block out, delete this block, and then use this jump speeds value here. So go to variables and bring out this jump speed. So now every time you click on this green play button, the Y position of my character is going to change by the value of jump speed. So if I increase this to zero point 0.5 and click on the green play button, so whatever the value of jump speed is, my character's Y value is changing by the value of jump speed. Okay, let's reset this. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to make this character jump up and down. So we want to make it move indefinitely. So to do that, we are going to use a loops block. So in the global section here, if you see there is a section called loops and timers. You can click on this and bring out this forever block. Forever will do an activity indefinitely again and again. So if you just drag out this changed character y and attach it inside forever, and then attach the forever inside inside this when green play button click. Now read your blocks. See whatever sentences are written when the blocks are combined. When you read those sentences, you will know exactly what your computer is going to do. So this one says when green play button is clicked, forever change the y position of my character by the value of jump speed. So by zero point 0.5 units. So when I click on the green play button, see, my character moved up. It keeps on moving up by the value of zero point 0.5. Now, zero point 0.5 is a very large unit, so my character was moving at a very fast speed. Let's reload this. And now I can just make this smaller, so zero point zero 0.01, and click on the green play button, and my character is moving up slowly. See, that was easy. Let's reset this again. All right. So now we want the character to move up and then move back down. So let's say right now my character's y position is 0. Okay. So let's say when it's moving up, whenever its y position becomes 2, I want the character to move back down. All right. So to do that, I'm just going to use this logics block, logic section, and bring out this if statement block. So let's bring this out and attach it just below my change character y by jump speed. And here I'm going to say if the y position of my character has become greater than 2, then change the value of jump speed to a negative number. Okay, so we are going to go back to logics, and here we have a logical operation block. It has the same diamond shape as the gap that you see here. So we know that this logical operation block will fit here. And now I can say if the character's y position. So how do we say that? You click on character object here and scroll down and bring out this block that says character position x. All right. And you can change this position x to say position y. And you see right now my blocks are getting hidden in this smaller code workspace. So what I can do is I can just enlarge this a bit. Yeah, this is more comfortable for me. Now I can say if the character's y position has become greater than what? 2. So let's add a number block. So shift and M will bring out a number block. I can attach it and say 2. So if the character's y position has become greater than 2, then do what? Then set the variable jump speed's value to a negative number. All right. And this will make the character move up and then back down. Let's see. So moving up, 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 and then moves down, 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 down. Okay. But now it keeps moving down because we have nowhere in our code we have said our character to move back up. Okay. So let's reload this and let's enlarge the code window. And now what we are going to do is we are going to add another if statement here itself. So click on the settings button and we can add another if condition by adding this else if block. Okay. And we can just duplicate this green block, this blue block that says if the character's y position is greater than 2. So just duplicate this and attach it here. And we say if it's become less than 0, because when it's standing on the ground, I know my character's y position is 0. So if it becomes less than 0, then make the character move back up. So how do we make the character move back up? By changing the jump speed back to a positive value. All right. So if I zoom out and click on my green play button, see my character moves up, then down, then back up, and then back down again. See that? How easy was that? Okay, so we have done this. Let's reload this. So now that we are able to make our character move up and down, let's make its arms rotate. Yeah, let's make its arms and legs flap. So let's go to our design tab and see how are we going to make our arms rotate. Okay. So let's go to the design section. All right. So here in our design section, you will notice that let's select our arms. So we have R and L. Okay. Let's select our right arm and see, let's see which axis do we need to rotate our arms on. Okay. So if I change the Y rotation of my arms, see, this is not how I want the arms to flap. So this is not the correct axis in which we want the arms to rotate. Let's rotate in the X axis. Yeah, this looks good enough, but this is again not the direction in which I want the arms to rotate. I want the arms to come out and go back down. So X is again not the rotation axis. Rather, you will notice if I change the Z axis, see, if I rotate the arms in the Z axis, then it's flapping. So what do we want to do? My rotation was initially 0. From 0, if I increase the Z rotation, the arm goes inside the body. We don't want to do that. So 0 is going to be the limit for the right arm's rotation, but you can decrease the Z rotation and it can rise up. Yeah. So let's say I want it to rise up to minus 45 and rotate between 0 and minus 45. So it can rotate between 0 and minus 45 and it will look like my arms are flapping. This arm is flapping, right arm. Okay. Now let's try the left arm. Let's go to our left side. And if you select your left arm here, and now let's see the Z rotation. So here you will notice that if I rotate the Z in the same negative direction, this is making the arm go inside the body. So for our right arm, when we were rotating from 0 to minus 45, it was flapping this way. But for the left arm, we will have to change it from 0 to plus 45, okay, in the Z axis. All right. And that will make the arms flap. All right. And then for our legs, what we can do is we can move one leg forward. So let's rotate this one in the direction. Okay. So see X direction rotation. So one leg will be moving forward and one leg will be moving backwards. So we can just decide whichever leg's rotation needs to be having a positive X rotation and whichever one needs to have a negative X rotation. All right. See, one is at minus 43, one is at positive 38, and it looks like it's walking. All right. So we'll do this. Let's set everything back to 0. Okay. So now let's go back to our design, our code tab, and code the flapping animations. Now, once we're in the code tab, the very first thing I want to do is just like I defined a variable that was controlling the speed of the characters jumping, I'm going to create another variable that will control the speed with which every all of these limbs are rotating. Okay. So go to your variables, click on create a variable and just name this angular speed. Or yeah, let's name it angular speed. And now bring this block outside and we can give it a value of, let's say, 1. All right. So now that we have this, let's understand how can we modify the arms rotation in our code. So all we need to do is we can go to our character here and select our legs and arms and bring out their change X rotation block. Okay. So I'm bringing out the R leg for our left leg as well. Okay. So I have brought out the legs rotation blocks. Let's look for the arms rotation block. So arms rotation blocks. Yes. This is the arms rotation block, left arm and right arm. All right. So I have all of these 4 rotation blocks. Now, how are we going to use our angular speed value to rotate our arms? So what I can do is I can attach all 4 of these just below the change character y jump speed. All right. So let's do that here. Now, it says change character's arms rotation by 90, all of these rotations by 90. Let's see what happens. See, it looks it looks so weird. Let's reload this and let's delete this 90. 90 is a very large value. Okay. What we can do is we can, let's say, remember we have to rotate the right arm from 0 to minus 45, and we have to rotate the left arm from 0 to 45. So we can say change left arm's Z rotation. We just learned that the arms need to be rotating in the Z axis and the legs need to be rotating in the X axis. So Z rotation for arms, change Z rotation by. So left arm's rotation needs to go from 0 to 45. So its value needs to increase. So, sorry, you can bring out the angular speed circular block. Go to your variables and angular speed block. Change left arm's Z rotation by angular speed. And now we need to give some value here. So we need to give a negative value for our right arm because it needs to go from 0 to minus 45. The value needs to decrease. So what I can do is I can use the angular speed's value, but just make it negative. So what I can do is I can go to my math section and bring out this 1 plus 1 block, attach it here, remove the 1 from here, change this plus to say multiplied. So asterisk here means multiplied. Okay. And then duplicate this angular speed block and attach it here and change this 1 to say minus 1. So now what will happen is my left arm will rotate with the angular speed of 1, but my right arm will rotate with the angular speed of minus 1 multiplied by the angular speed value. So this is 1 minus 1 multiplied by 1 is minus 1. All right. And we can do the same thing for our legs. So we can just duplicate the angular speed and these two blocks like this. Simple as that. And now let's click on the green play button and see what happens. So you see my objects, they are rotating the way they should, but they keep on rotating. They don't come back. Yeah. So what we want to do is whenever we are flipping the jumping speed, let's flip the angular speed value as well. All right. So let's reload this first of all. And now, see, we what are we doing? So whenever the y position of our box of our character reaches 2, right? We are changing the jump speed from 0.01 to minus 0.01. And at that time, what we can also say is set the angular speed value to minus 1. All right. And similarly, once the character reaches the ground, then change the angular speed back to positive 1. And this should do the trick of flapping the arms. Let's see how it does it look. All right, let's run this code. Click on the green play button. Oops. Okay, something weird is happening. Oh, yes. So, see, my arms are flapping back down, but when they are flapping up, it's going to a very larger value. So, remember, we wanted to only rotate between 0 and 45. So now rather than having these conditions, what we can do is, or we can just reduce the value of angular speed. So we can reduce it to, let's say, zero point 0.4 and then say minus zero point 0.4 and zero point 0.4. And this will also work. Let's reload this and click on the green play button. Yes. See? So now if ever you want to control the speed of its jumping or speed of its rotation, we just need to change these values 0.01 and 0.04 and change them here as well. So minus 0.01 minus zero point 0.4 and plus 0.01 plus zero point 0.4. So whatever values you give here, give negative values here and give the same positive values here, and you will control the speed of your character. And now that we have made this, let's rotate our character completely while it's jumping. All right. So what we can do is we can just go to our character object and say select change character X rotation by, and we can just say Y rotation and shift M, and we can say change character Y rotation by, let's say, 1. Okay. Reload this. And now if you click on the green play button, yeah. So my character is jumping and it's rotating at a very high speed. So let's say zero point 0.2. Okay. And reload this and click on the green play button. All right. So this looks good. We have a really cool character, a really cool 3D character that we have designed ourselves. And we have just learned how to animate that 3D character using blocks. So what we are doing here is we are doing all of these activities forever by adding this forever block. And what are we doing? We are changing its Y rotation, that is making the character rotate. Yeah. And we are changing its Y position by a variable that is making the character jump. And how is it jumping up and down? Because we have added conditions of upper limit of y position 2 and its lower limit of y position 0. And whenever it crosses those values, the jump speed reverses itself. So if the jump speed was 0.01, it becomes minus 0.01. And if it was minus 0.01, it becomes 0.01. All right. And similarly, we are doing the rotation. So we have a rotation value, a variable, and we are rotating the x and z axis for the arms and legs using that angular speed value and flipping the angular speed at these limits to make the arms move up and down and legs move up and down. All right. So I'm going to publish this project. So give it a name here and publish this project. And I'm going to add the link of this in the description of our video so you guys can refer the final project. And I'm also going to add the template link where I just have the 3D character without any code so that you guys can use that project to code just along this video. But if you guys want to build your own 3D character, I will add the link for our previous video where I show you guys how to design this character on your own. And you guys can do that as well. All right. So this is done and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.